And we'll get a look at Liz here first. So it's the old argument, Chris, and I know you've had plenty of experience in this format, as has your wife, who's a very accomplished bowler. The theory of, is it better to start where Liz started and run up, or is it better to be sitting where Carolyn Doran Ballard is, number one?
I'd still rather be the top seed because you don't have to go through this murderer's row of competitors, and the lanes change as you go.
Is that an example of the lanes changing right there? That's the first really clunker she's thrown, except for the very first shot.
According to our CATS data and her voice feedback, that was inside a target again. It's the only bad shot she threw in game one, and she came right back out and did the same thing in game two. This time, unfortunate not to leave something she could make.
So a little bit of an opening early for the Chicago native and former Nebraska Cornhusker Diandra Asbaty. It's been on the Queens television show once before as the number one seed and lost to Kelly Kulick. But it was the way she lost that this is a chance for her to make up for that, and I'll explain in a moment. Push it did, right smack into the pocket in that seed. And losing to Kelly Kulick, by the way, is no disgrace, but she shot a 143, and that has bothered her for a while.
Go back and look at Diandra's style now. She switched to a four-step approach not too long ago, and she said it really keyed up her timing, let things get a little bit freer, and she wasn't getting the ball in the swing so inconsistently.
What about her keys?
Well, her key here is just to take advantage of what the other four girls are all playing to the right of her. She needs to be able to take advantage of that hook to her right, combined with the oil that's fresh in the middle of the lane. She's chosen a marble pearl, a low RG high diff ball to try and do that with.
Got a kick on the 7, and she opens with a double.
Watches this one, mixes things up. Headpin goes to the wall and just touches the 7 on the way by. She knew she got it just a little bit right, but good execution and good leverage at the foul, and will give you just a little bit more area in the lane.
And one thing about Liz, with her experience, it's very quick. She can make adjustments very, very quickly, and we asked her, is this game, is bowling still fun for her?
I love to bowl, whether it's against the guys, against the women, day in and day out. And the fact that I still love to bowl. As long as I stay physically fit and the sport is still fun for me, I'll bowl every single day. Push. Thank you.
You're welcome. No problem. She comes right back off of leaving that 4-6 and doubles.
That was, well, an older term, the high hard one. So got it in a little bit, missed it at the bottom just a touch, and was able to get it to hold.
That's what Diandra did. She went through the elimination bracket, defeated Leanne Hulsenberg, who was the reigning U.S. Open champion, among others.
Push, push.
Asking for a lot of pushing from these two, and so far it's working extremely well.
Well, and this is what Diandra should have, really, by being able to play deeper on the lane than the rest of the competitors. She should have a little bit more oil to her left. The players are breaking down the right around the 8th, 9th, 10th board. She should be able to throw it to that area and get it to hook off of it and create where Liz has a couple of board area, probably. Diandra should have at least one extra.
That's what we talked about a little bit earlier in the 2007 Queens. Diandra looking for her first major championship. She does have 2 PBA Women's Series titles. Everything she's asking for right now, she's getting. We show her husband, John. And I don't see young Madden there tonight. He is coming up, I think, on 2. And as a matter of fact, her last television show, when she bowled mixed doubles with Brian Voss, she was expecting.
Yeah, Madden's now 20 months old. And changed her perspective a little bit, gave her a little balance.
Got a big break there. That 9-pin got decked. A little bit off from the way she was in that first game.
Well, that omen and that strong cover on that omen is starting to dig in a little bit. You can see that one pick up in the front. Fortunate the 2-pin came back across to knock out the 9. Leave only the 4. Gonna have to make about a 1-board adjustment with her feet the next time on that lane.
Well, Chris, I know you love baseball, as I do. This week, ESPN and ESPN2 have a couple of great games. First, Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Albert Pujols and the Angels, Evan Longoria and the Rays. SportsCenter will be seen in Los Angeles and in Tampa. Then Sunday night at 8 Eastern in ESPN, it's a rematch of last year's AL Division Series as the Rays visit Josh Hamilton and the Rangers. Both games are available on ESPN3 and also live on WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app. And from this building, you can walk to the Rangers Park. And to see Josh Hamilton hit, you ought to walk a long way. And to see Liz Johnson bowl, you ought to walk a long way. She comes right back with a strike in 5.
Well, this is a great shot here. Already in early trouble, down 30. According to Cat's data, that's right at the 7.8 board. She's been living in that area most throughout the game 1 and 2 now. Got to settle in. Now, so far, Diandra's been a little bit quick with everything. It's coming off her hand just a little bit early. That's why she's asking for it to push. See if she can settle down now with a lead and throw her best shots.
Is that a product of nerves?
A
A lot, and she's fortunate to get something very makeable in a 2-5, ending her run of strikes at 4 in a row.
You'd call it nerves or adrenaline, or, you know, I don't think she's scared of anything, but there's no way around. This environment's just different. Now this time, this ball was about 2 boards right, actually 2.5 boards right of her last shot on that lane. Now the first one was in a little bit. This was on the right side of it. Fortunate just to leave the 2-5. Truth be told, I'd rather just leave the 2-pin.
Well, truth be told, you'd rather not make it like that.
Well, and that's exactly why. The 2-5 is just not that hard to chop. Even with a spare ball here, there's still a little rotation, and it started to pick up just at the end.
Yep. Snuck away with some. Found $20 in the couch.
30-pin lead through 5.
That came in from a long way. Diandra Asbaty, looking for her first major championship, has a 30-pin advantage on a 4-time major winner in the great Liz Johnson. Second match of the USBC-Queens will continue when we return to Arlington in mere moments.
USBC-Queens, and I am unfortunately with the loser of match number 1, Josie Ernest. Josie, unbelievable bowling. You looked like a pro out there. You looked so relaxed. Unfortunately, Liz got a head start on you in the striking.
Yeah, she bowled an unbelievable game. You know, 260 is pretty hard to beat. I don't know if I would call myself relaxed. I, you know, might have played the part pretty well, but I was pretty nervous the whole game.
Oh, no, you looked great. Now, what will you take from this experience as you leave?
You know, it was really just teaching myself how to calm everything down, slow everything down, because, you know, that was probably the fastest game, or felt like the fastest game I've ever bowled. But it'll definitely be an experience that I can utilize in the future.
Well, I know we'll see you again. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you, Dave.
Great bowling, Josie. You were nodding when she said it seemed like the fastest game in the world.
I said this first time you get on TV, you can't believe that you can bowl 10 frames in about 90 seconds. But,
and Liz is not a very deliberate player. There are some who, you know, everybody has their own style. There's no one way to do this. We'll see Carolyn Doran-Ballard, for example, very deliberate player. There is a shot clock in play here, by the way, and players will be fined. And she says, you know what, I don't want to know. Just take care of it. We'll talk later. Liz Johnson, a little bit quicker. Doubtful that she'll ever have a shot clock violation. And Liz Johnson again coming out of the break. Strikes.
I tell you, it absolutely is the hardest shot, and you see it consistently. That player struggled on that very first shot. Her speed is identical to the 4th frame on this same lane, right over the 8th board. perfect delivery. I assume she made a little one-board move off her last pitch on that lane.
So was it 7.9 instead of 7.8? Because I've never heard of the 7.8 board. I got to tell you.
It's really hard to pick up from the foul line, too, as a matter of fact. But the stat stat is very accurate.
Push.
No.
Oh, man.
What happened here?
Yeah, and this is only about a board inside a target, and that's how much the shot maker Liz is. A board off of target, and it equals about 3 more at the pins. Turns into a big 4. Just when she crawled back into this match at 20 pins down, a chance to cut down the lead. Diandra back up by 35.
This is when that cliche of staying in the moment if you're Diandra. Don't start thinking I've won, because the minute you do that, oftentimes you make a mistake.
Coming from the voice of experience here, it's very important to just focus on the simple things. One process, hit your target. Keep doing it until they tell you you're done.
Ooh. You really thought her last shot was outstanding. Did she get away with one here?
Just a little bit, but she is getting her hand underneath it right now, and she's starting to really catch at the bottom. She missed a few shots earlier. That one wasn't really that far left. She just caught it at the bottom, and she'll make a little bit of moves. Got some of the breakdown that Liz had, I think, the frame before. This is not good news for anybody coming up to bowl her next, though, because she looks like she's starting to settle in. Any thoughts of that previous 140 game from her? Yeah, those are all gone now.
She's beaten that. Stephanie Nation is the winner of this, the number 2 seed. Got away with one through the nose that time. By the way, we're talking about deliberation and shot clocks and all that. Diandra has already had 2 violations. She does not want to be told. Some players are told right away. She has asked the folks in charge of the shot clock, again, talk to me when I'm finished, and we'll talk. I'll pay what I have to pay. First is a warning. There are fines afterwards. So she's going to be out some tip money. Good indeed it was. For bowling news from around the world, plus great tips and video, log on to the new and improved bowl.com, the official website of the United States Bowling Congress. And there is everything in the world of bowling. Youth, professionals, leagues, everything is in there. So take a look at it, bowl.com.
Again, on this 41-foot, 2.5 to 1 ratio sport compliant pattern, both players using pin-up balls. By putting the pin up above the fingers, you can let the ball flare more, creates a little bit more overall motion.
The problem there for Liz Johnson, whose max is 223, and there you see the 7.8 board and the miles per hour.
Here you see the picture perfect position that Liz has at the foul line. Posts up every shot. Trademark of hers, one of the reasons why she's the best, one of the best shot makers in the game.
Look out. And she was so good in the first game when she bowled 268. What has changed?
Well, she's had a hard time on this left lane. It's just a little bit tighter down lane for her, but she comes right over the top of it again. It's the same shot we've seen now 4 times over the 2 games, but unfortunately for her, 3 times in this game.
And she smothers that. And she knows she's in big trouble and running out of time. The foundation frame in game 1, she blasted the pins. This time she has to convert a baby split. Her max is down to 203. And if you want to do your Bo Burton bowling math?
Yeah, Diandra needs virtually nothing here. She needs 9 on this shot.
That's exactly what she got.
No trouble at all there, but the interesting thing is watch the 6 pin, second pin from the right. and almost nothing hits it as it falls straight over. That doesn't happen very often. You have to create quite a bit of angle to cut the 3-pin off that clean and barely hit the 6. You leave that flat at 10, it also sends a signal that you need to make an adjustment to get your ball to go through the pins.
So Diandra Asbaty has moved on. She's defeated Liz Johnson and will advance to the next match against Stephanie Nason in our stepladder format. And we're going to have in championship match one player looking for her first major championship against Carolyn Doran Ballard. Good luck with that, by the way. That's not going to be easy. Neither Diandra or Stephanie have won a major yet. Physically talented players, and Diandra has been on Team USA for 14 years. So it's not like she's not a novice at this at all. Junior Team USA for a couple of years, so she's extremely experienced. And as Chris mentioned, bowling a little bit different outlook on life now that she's a mom of a young Madden. That goes to the winner. The tiara will be presented by our defending champion, Missy Parkin, who's finished 6th, almost made the show again.
Really difficult to do in this format where qualifying doesn't play a huge role, although this year they got a bye.
Oh, by the way, it's not just all about the beautiful bowling ball and the tiara. That's nice, but the $20,000 doesn't hurt. Liz Johnson will pick up $5,000 for her outstanding performance. And it'll be Stephanie Nason and Diandra Asbaty next. Nice way to go out. Hey, look, when you win a game here, you win a game. A 268 won the first game. A 233 wins the second game. Big smile from Diandra Asbaty, and why not? She is moving on. Her Queens experience, her second one, going a lot better than her first one did. On television, anyway. And Liz will finish out. Hometown, Niagara Falls, New York. Cheektowaga in the Buffalo area. And a 4-pin refusing to give her the big finish she deserves.
Talk about good friends, though. Her good friends, Carol Norman and Donna Connors, they drove all the way up from Houston and brought her a couple of bowling balls where Carol drills her bowling balls, a former PWBA champion. About a 4.5 hour drive, dropped some stuff off, and she used a couple of those balls during the week.
And Diandra can enjoy this for a little bit. Do you allow yourself a little moment before the next match to go, okay, way to go, Chris, or not?
I personally prefer to just stay in the moment as much as I can and try and stay in that same frame of mind rather than trying to follow the ups and downs. It gets hard to reset sometimes.
Well, Diandra Asbaty comes out and rolls a solid 233. Will she get that first